Welcome back to the show. Pat Gudauskas up now in Heat 10 of round 2. Surfing against Connor O'Leary. Pat coming off the back of his best ever finish in a championship tour event, a semi-final down at Bells Beach. And with surfing like that, he caused some huge upsets on his road to that third place finish. He's made a big jump up the leaderboard, running high on confidence and looking sharp on his first wave here.
And again, we talked about what does Patrick Gudauskas bring to the table that differentiates himself, and it's the explosiveness of his maneuvers. Every time he goes into one, it's a little bit different, a little bit rawer, a little more exciting. And that's what got him to that semifinal finish at Bells. And now here's Connor.
Driving off the bottom. Explosive first turn. Vertical again. Hangs on to that second move. A good exchange to kick off this round 2 heat. First head-to-head heat between these two competitors.
Oh, man.
Connor just lays on down on the rock shelf there on the inside.
Bing, 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 bing. He's just literally floating over the top of it. One of the things that he can bring to this Margaret Rivers lineup is that vertical explosive maneuver. So much nicer to do on your backhand and so difficult to do here at main break. So those were two very punchy maneuvers, and thinking in regards to that rookie class, that was a pretty solid rookie class that came in on that season. So to win that is quite an honor.
Swinging again on the outside. O'Leary up into the hook. Nice little backhand carve to get started. Not what you'd call a major turn though. He'll try and hang on to this second maneuver. Does well to stay on his feet.
Smart, backing up to 7. And then also showing us a little variety. You know, he didn't go to that same style of turn. Pretty neat to see that these surfers generally use a similar strategy and go out there right away, and any opportunity they get to back up the 7, they go out there and they do it. That's heat management. Again, the carve is to start this wave, the section called for it. He wasn't able to combine those two maneuvers. He kind of had to chase down and wait for that final section, so that'll factor into the score. Not going to be nearly as big as his 7-point ride.
20 minutes remaining here, something standing up out the back. Pat Gudauskas, he has the priority. It looks like he's going to try and use it. He'll get into this one. Needs to capitalize on this first section and does so. Nice approach. Gets down low through that bottom turn and looks to set up this end section. And unfortunately just hit a lump there on the inside as the wave kind of bubbled and gurgled out there. And he went down.
End section, we've seen how important it is for the judges to give a number. That snap there, again, unique line, showing us a point of difference. We haven't seen anything like that. Right here, that kind of weave. I mean, that section was flat, but he kept the flow there. And then just unfortunate that nose digs right there, because that was, you know, the exclamation at the end of a ride. And again, being that last section, judges have said, hey, if you perform in that last section, we'll start throwing some good numbers at it.
Certainly Connor O'Leary well rewarded last year for that vertical backhand approach, so didn't really need to make adjustments to add too much variety. And we'll see him go to that move again. Whips his board back down. A nice section here standing up. Really delaying those bottom turns to ensure that he times those moves perfectly.
Analyzing his surfing, understanding what the judges want to see. But look at the smoothness in the face. Tags the first one here and then it stands up for the second section. Now he doesn't have to deal with the rocks because the wave stood up vertical before all of it. So he finishes that move. You'd have to say that they're going to have a very substantial lead.
Pat Gudauskas taking off. Out the back, use priority for this one. Little hook off the top to get started. Nice section here. Drives down the line. He'll look for a huge finish. Hammers the closeout. Looking for an 8.8 though. That is a big number. We haven't seen too many scores in the excellent range today.
You know, a hole in the deck or in the bottom like that, you can still surf it and still perform. Let's see what happens here. Again, you got some wind blowing. That snap there was nice. Right here, that little stick of the rail just gave him a little less speed than he would have liked, but a nice solid finish. I mean, he exploded into that lip. It's going to be his best number, and it's going to drop the number allocated needed to turn the heat. Rotations of his own. You know, we've seen him pull out a rodeo to turn a heat.
That's true. Here goes Connor, so using that priority to keep Pat Gudauskas off this one. And he does well with that first turn on a tricky section, but there's not much else down the line. He checks the clock. Back meanwhile, 15 seconds to go. And Pat's going to get a shot at it. You can see him loading up off the bottom into the first section. Jams it under the lip. Tricky wave to read, but does well to get a second turn in. Needs a solid finish here. Looking for a 7.77. He'll go to the air, rides on out. Haven't seen too many airs laid down today.
Ooh,
and gets a little finish on the inside. Flexing as he rides that one right through to the rock shelf.
What a finish. And then the finish move above the lip. Innovation, progression. You'd have to say that it's pretty darn close. You know, right there, you're like, oh, okay. But this one here, he rips it back into the pocket, and that wasn't a section that really was actually asking for it. And then this. Gets the grab, lands backwards, slides out with speed. That was pretty darn cool. Again, take a look here, and we'll see if he gets the grab. He reaches, gets the slob, touches the rail, releases. Great technique, landing on top of the lip and sliding backwards. That's so technical. Grabbing the rail again to showcase control. That was truly amazing, and I love that he had this finish.
All the numbers rolling through. It was close, but Pat Gudauskas finished with a 6.74 on that last ride. He was chasing a 7. And Connor O'Leary gets the win. He's going through to the third round. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with Joe Tapel and Martin Potter in just a moment.